Hey everyone, this is Ben with Cholinergic Urticaria.net, and in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about exercise routines and ways that you can exercise with this disorder. Now, it kind of seems crazy that when you have a hives disorder where you break out in hives in response to heat that you would ever want to exercise. And people talk about sweat therapy sometimes on the forum, and exercise is one method you can do that, and people are often like, well, how am I going to do that when I'm breaking out in hives? So I just wanted to go through in this video and tell you some of the ways you can exercise, some of the things you can expect. Before you ever exercise, you always want to go to the doctor, get a checkup, and just make sure and just explain to your doctor, this is what I intend to do, whether it's cardio, weightlifting, or whatever, and just make sure that your doctor says, okay, yeah, I think you're in good health for this kind of a program, and that it would be safe for you. Okay, so you've got different types of exercise. You've got cardiovascular exercise, you have weight training. Cardiovascular exercise is typically the best to try to induce sweat because it increases your body temperature, moving around so much, especially, exercise bike or something like that. Your body's moving so much that it can heat your body up quickly and really get your heart rate pumping. And that tends to be a great way to do it. You can also do weightlifting, although the thing with weightlifting is when you're lifting weights, you tend to only do like 8 or 10 reps and you get tired. You could always switch to the other arm or switch to the other side of the body or whatever, but it's a little less consistent than just going straight through in cardio. So most of the time when you're going to try sweat therapy, you're going to do cardio. Now I should also add really quickly that anytime you plan to do that, you might want to get an EpiPen, which is a certain type of pen that you can inject in your body. It contains medicine that can help you if you ever have an anaphylactic shock. Those are relatively rare, but they do happen in some people with cholinergic urticaria, especially if you have 2 or 3 different types of hives. So watch out for that and consider doing that. The second thing I would advise you is to make sure that you have a friend or someone in your home or at the workout gym or wherever to help you just in case you faint or have some issue. Okay, so what's the best type of cardiovascular exercise? You can do a lot of different things. You can do jump rope, you could do exercise bike. If you do an exercise bike, I have kind with handles that go like this, and I like that because I feel like, if my legs get a little bit tired, I can keep going with my arms and I can just really keep my body going, and that gets my heart rate up and I feel like I can just zip through the exercise. You can get elliptical machines, which they usually have the arm thing too. Let's see, treadmill. You can run outside if you like to run, or let's see what else. You can swim. That's another thing that some people have done. I don't really advise walking unless your doctor says only to walk, because walking really doesn't do anything for you. If you're significantly overweight or out of shape, you may want to begin walking, but really you're just not going to lose a lot of weight walking because it just doesn't burn a lot of calories. If you really want to get in shape or get your heart rate up, then doing a cardiovascular exercise like running or exercise bike or whatever, that's where it's at. And my favorite is, of course, the exercise bike. I have both an exercise bike and an elliptical machine. They both cost about $120 or so each. I got them off Walmart or Amazon. I think I got one off Walmart and one off Amazon, if I recall correctly. I have a link and some pictures on my website if you want to see what I use. But you can do that. Now, when you do exercise through cardiovascular, what you're going to notice is usually within 2 to 5 minutes, once your body begins to heat up to a certain point, that's when you're going to feel the itching and stinging come on. And I've already talked in another video, there's a couple different things you can do. You can try to suffer through it and really make your body go. And you may break through the hives, especially if you have a light to moderate case of cholinergic urticaria. You can break through the reaction and sweat. If not, then you can do the stop-go method, which is when you feel that itchy prickly, stop for a couple minutes, kind of take a breath, let it subside a little bit, and then begin again. And if you keep stopping and going, sometimes that can get the sweat through without pushing your body to an extreme level of itching. Whenever I had a really severe case of hives and I would try to work out, I would even sometimes go douse myself with water, squirt myself with a squirt bottle. I would turn on a fan sometimes to blow on me when I would get really itchy to try to cool the reaction quickly so I could go back again. Those are just some things you can try. I even soak my shirt in water sometimes and put a wet t-shirt on just to keep my body cold. That's when I wanted to exercise and I had hives severely. But that's not really the best if you're trying to sweat. So that's the idea behind trying to do the sweat therapy with an exercise bike or something like that. And again, I recommend the exercise bike or an elliptical. They're probably the two best. Treadmills can be kind of bad on your joints, but if you have one or if you like that method, then go for it. To maintain the sweat, if you do the sweat therapy, you usually have to do it daily. Some people may get a couple of days of relief, but usually you do it for the day, you sweat, and your hives kind of back down for the day, and then by the next day they've kind of built back up. So the histamine stores and everything, so you want to, most people do it daily or almost daily. As far as, you know, strength training or weightlifting, I do that as well. What my routine consists of right now when I do work out, and I usually work out about 3 times a week right now when I can, but usually I do about 15 to 20 minutes cardio on the exercise bike, and then I'll do like another 15 or 20 minutes. And what I've really changed my workout routine as of right now is just really reducing the number of sets. So let's say I want to work out on my biceps. You know, repetition is one complete movement of the muscle. So bringing a weight up and down, that's a repetition. I would try to use enough weight to do about 10 to 12 reps. And I would only do about 3 sets for biceps. I would do, you know, 1 with my arm like this, and then 1 straight up and down, and then 1 like a hammer curl where you just keep your arm like that. And then I would, you know, do 3 exercises for triceps, and then maybe 1 other muscle group, and that's it. And then the next workout I would maybe do chest and abs and back or something like that. And then the next workout I might do legs, like my calves, and maybe a few squats. So those are just some basic workout tips. One thing that is really interesting about working out too is working out in general will help reduce some of the inflammation in your body. And that's important to keep in mind, because the way I look at it, when you have hives, any source of additional inflammation, whether it be a food allergy, environmental allergy, or even visceral fat, that's the pot belly you can get on your stomach. That, you know, some people call them beer bellies, when you're kind of skinny on your body but your belly pooches out. That's the most dangerous kind of fat you can have on your body. That fat right there, if you have that pot belly, that is almost diabetes and a heart attack waiting to happen, just incubating in the oven. That's basically what that is. And a lot of studies have associated visceral fat because it actually is metabolically active, and it can secrete hormones, and it can do a lot of damage to your body to carry around a lot of visceral fat. So if you have that pot belly, you definitely want to do cardio to get rid of that visceral fat. And I've mentioned in my book and on my website, but it's interesting how some people that have hives, when they find that they lose weight, they notice that their hives improve dramatically or even disappear. And there's a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I believe is the title of it. And it's just some guy, I think he's from Australia, and he goes through and he talks about this like sort of smoothie diet that he created, and he lost weight on it. And it's like a juice smoothie diet or something like that. But anyway, and I remember a man that was featured on the show had urticaria vasculitis, which is a different type of hives. And whenever he lost weight, and he did lose quite a bit of weight, and he went on this diet, his hives cleared up. So if you're overweight, losing weight in general may help your hives quite a bit. And I'm not trying to beat you over the head, because I know that most people who are overweight don't want to be overweight. They sometimes try different diets, and it's a struggle, and it is hard because a lot of the foods that you eat these days, they're very calorie dense, and they don't provide sometimes a lot of nutritional value, and they don't really make you feel full. And on top of that, it's a crazy world out there, and it's hard to find time to exercise. So I understand that it's really easy to gain weight these days, but I would encourage you to try to work out if you can, if your doctor says it's okay, and if you can get through the hives, because that will help reduce some of the inflammation. It'll also just make you feel positive about yourself, because when you're working out, it just gives you that rush of endorphins. It makes you just feel great about life. It makes you have a zest for life. It makes your self-esteem improve when you are happy with the way your body looks. And that's another great benefit of exercise. So that's just a little information about working out with this type of hives. I hope that helps some. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day.